From as far back as I can remember, I knew my mother hated me. Not the quiet kind of dislike. Not disappointment. Hatred. When I was 3, she gave me sleeping pills and watched to see if I would wake up. When I was 5, she tried pesticide instead. But I was hard to get rid of. By the time I turned 7, I had already learned how to fight back, not because I was brave, but because I had no other way to survive. If she refused to give me food, I flipped the table so no one could eat either. That was how we lived. A war inside a house that no one else could see. And it lasted until I was 12. Everything changed the year my youngest sister was born. She was small, fragile, pink like a miracle everyone had been waiting for. One afternoon, I was clumsily trying to help with her wet diaper, afraid I'd do it wrong but even more afraid of being yelled at for doing nothing. That was when my mother shoved me hard against the wall. My head slammed back. The pain exploded behind my eyes. When I looked at her, the expression on her face wasn't just anger. It was disgust. And fear. "What were you trying to do to my daughter?" she screamed. I knew it. "You take after that monster of a father. Why didn't you just die with him?" I slid down the wall, holding my aching head. For the first time in my life, I didn't fight back. Because for the first time, I believed her. Maybe she was right. Maybe my existence really was a mistake. Maybe I should never have been alive. That night, I didn't go home. I limped to my grandmother's house instead. She didn't look surprised when she saw the bruises. She never did. She took out the first aid kit and cleaned my wounds with the same tired, practiced movements she always used, as if this was just another chore on a list that never ended. She made me a simple plate of food and set it in front of me. Usually, I would eat while silently swearing revenge. This time, I just stared at the food. "Grandma," I asked quietly. "I'm not actually Dad's child, am I?" She didn't answer. But the way her eyes flickered away told me everything. That was when I realized it wasn't just my mother who hated my blood. It was something they all wanted to stay far away from. I was the child of a rapist. No wonder she despised me. The thought made me sick. I ran outside and vomited by the fence, the cold night air stinging the cuts on my face. For the first time, I didn't feel anger toward her. Only shame. I wandered the streets until I saw a family laughing outside a restaurant, celebrating a birthday. The mother in the center was smiling. I instinctively stepped back. I remembered my own mother's birthday last year, how she had smiled like that until she saw me, how her expression had turned cold the instant I appeared. I remembered the essay assignment titled My Mother. I had written that mine was cruel and heartless. The teacher dragged me into her office and scolded me for an entire period. "No mother in this world would ever stop loving her child," she said. I believed her. I saved money from collecting recyclables and bought my mom a birthday cake, just wanting a hug like the one she gave my brother. Instead, her stare felt like a knife. That was when I decided something. If my existence caused her nothing but pain, then for her next birthday, I would give her a gift she would truly appreciate. I decided to die. Once the thought settled in my mind, my steps felt lighter. I even planned carefully, something quick, something clean, something that wouldn't trouble anyone. But before I could do anything, a patrolling officer found me and brought me home. My mother opened the door. "Why didn't you just die out there?" she said coldly. I stared at the floor and asked quietly. "If I really did die, would you be sad?" "If you've got the guts, hurry up and do it," she replied. I'd celebrate. That night, something inside me broke. And yet, somehow, I still survived. Again. I learned then that being hard to kill wasn't a blessing. It was a curse. Because even when I wanted to disappear, the world refused to let me go. And this was only the beginning. Because the moment my brother slipped and fell into the deep, dark water, everything changed forever.